Episode 85 was incredible. What's going on, trainers? Dom from the Otaku Room, and we have another great episode of Pokemon Horizons to talk about today. I don't know if you ever feel like this, but often Pokemon really hits me in the feels, and it's not really like I'm emotional or anything like that. It's just one of those things to where I've shared with you guys multiple times in the past, right? We're covering 85 episodes so far. We've covered since episode 1 here on the channel, and I've shared over and over and over again how much of a important piece Pokemon is in my life. And sometimes I kind of feel like those crazy Winnie the Pooh ladies or like those crazy Disney ladies, you know what I mean? No, it's not an obsession. It's just like something that I truly enjoy and I just really love. As you guys see, like, you know, literally right now, not even trying to wearing a Pokemon, you know, hat, Pokemon shirt. You know, I got my Pokemon stuff behind me, whatever. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things to where it's just consistently part of my life. Now, what I want to transition into is episode 85 gave me that feeling. And Liko, Roy, and Dot, you know, they're you know, and Freed, they're going into Laqua for the first time. They finally made it, right? The thing that they've been like the place that has been on this is going to happen one day has finally occurred to the group. And they finally made it. And it's everything that they imagine. They come in here and it truly is a paradise. They go in from the frigid cold and they drop into this place and it is warm and it is like a super paradise place for all Pokemon. And they look to their left, they look to their right, and they see one of my favorite Pokemon ever, Meganium. And there's several Meganiums over there. They see a Pokemon in Wimpod that I don't remember the last time I saw Wimpod in an anime or game in a very, very long time. Actually, no, I saw this is Scarlet and Violet, but you know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen it in the anime in a long time. They look over there, they see Feraligators, right? They see Feraligators. They see Primarinas. You know, they see what was the last time we saw a freaking Feraligator? You know what I mean? They see Primarinas. You know, then they look and then they see some legendary Pokemon. They see Zapdos in the sky. And they look this way and they see Eevee and their evolutions. They see, you know, Flareon. I think Flareon, Leafeon, Sylveon. And the first thing Dot does is she's like, oh, crap, I got to take a picture and send it to Penny. She's like, click, click, click. And she's like, I'm going to send this over to Penny. Adorable. They see Durants and Heatmores, right? And Freed is like, oh, there's Pokemon that are immortal enemies, right? Fire and metal together, you know? And you see Primapes and Hydreigons who are typically pretty angry. And they're just, you know, out there being so cool. And then you see, you know, another one. You see Virizion, you know, just there drinking water, you know, another legendary Pokemon. The point I'm trying to make is kind of like when the Ash first saw Ho-Oh, or you know when they finally rode on Lugia. It was one of those moments to where it's just like it's a core memory for the kids, and I think it's just so cool just to see all these different Pokemon, you know, within the world. And if you're like me, you know, I was shiny hunting yesterday. Yesterday, I caught a few different Starlies. I've been looking for a female Starly, female marked Starly within Scarlet and Violet. I found one. I was so excited. And then I swapped and I got a Chimchar outbreak. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know what? I need a female Chimchar in Scarlet and Violet. I don't have one. I have a male. I have like 2 males, I think. But I think the only female I have is in Arceus. So I was like, okay, I need to get me a female Chimchar. So I was shiny hunting that yesterday. And it's just one of those things to where you get that feeling when you're shiny hunting and you get that feeling when you're watching the Pokemon anime. And again, like I said, I don't know if you ever get that, but just one of those things to where I really appreciate and it just makes the episode even that much better. Then the kind of like the middle of the episode is they're in Laqua, you know, they're getting told by Freed, like, hey, you know, we're doing field investigation right now and you know, this is your first time, and you know, nothing can be done in a day. We need to go. We need to pack up. We need to get some tents. We need to, you know, camp out for the night. And the kids are sharing a cool moment. Liko and Dot and Roy, and they're talking about like, hey, is our adventure going to end? Because you got to think like, again, their adventure's finally coming to a headway. This arc is finally coming to a close with Laqua and Recuria and with Rayquaza and everything else. And Liko is really worried about like Terapagos leaving her, right? Like bye-bye Butterfree moment. And Dot has to tell her like, no, you know, Terapagos, you know, chose you. You know, it wants to be your life partner, just like it did your great-great-grandmother, you know, before. But it still has a mission that it needs to do. And then that mission ends up coming to a headway at the end of the episode, which is, again, a really cool moment where they continue to explore Laqua, and they finally find the big crystallized dome that Terapagos had not inflicted, but created when they were trying to trap in all the Recurium. So I want to stop there. Last episode, I talked about if 𝐒𝐴𝐵𝐵𝐴𝐴 and the explorers know where Laqua is, then shouldn't they have a big supply of Recurium? Well, the answer to that question is no. And this episode solidified that answer and gave me that answer on a personal level. Maybe you had it too. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you're too smart for us. I don't know. Maybe you put it all together. I didn't, though, okay? And that was evident by my feedback last episode. Well, the last episode, you know, as they're climbing up the mountain, Liko sees that, hey, there's some kind of facility, laboratory or something. And I was like, okay, that's definitely 𝐒𝐵𝐵𝐴𝐴's laboratory. So they've known where Laqua has been the whole time. So he wasn't that stupid. He wasn't like, you know, he didn't have amnesia. He knew where Laqua was at. But the thing that he was trying to get is Recurium. And this episode solidified that the Recurium was all locked behind this crystallized dome that Terapagos created. Hence the reason that 𝐒𝐵𝐵𝐴𝐴 and the explorers have been looking for Terapagos and the different Pokemon and the heroes, and they knew Terapagos is the key to unlocking a Recurium facility, essentially, you know, the Recurium paradise. So with what happened at the end of the episode, so now I'll continue now. Terapagos unlocks it, and of course the explorers are there. And that's where we end the episode. Is we see what is his name? The silver-haired kid, 𝐒𝐵𝐵𝐴𝐴, Poppy. What the hell is that guy's name? Oh, Spinel, with the Umbreon. We see Spinel, and it's like Spinel versus Freed, and then we see the other three. You know, we don't see our boy 𝐜𝐴THEO yet, but we see the other three there as well to go and get the kids, or they're going to go fight the kids. They're going to battle the kids, and then we see Freed versus Spinel at the end of the episode. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to chalk it up. This episode was awesome. I loved it. I can't wait to see what ends up happening next. Episode 86 is going to be awesome, so I can't wait to see what happens because at the end, when they were finding the dome, and when the dome got unlocked by Terapagos, there was 1,000,000% a Zygarde cell that sped past Roy. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but it 1,000,000% happened. And I was like, okay, that means that this 𝐒𝐵𝐵𝐴𝐴 dude must be here as well. And let me see if I can find that moment that it happened, because I was like, okay, some folks might miss this, but I was like, okay, that 100% happened. So if we look at this specific moment here, where, you know, the kids, you know, Freed's heading off, and he's going to go, boom, right there. There is the Zygarde cell that ended up speeding past the kids. And I was like, okay, that's cool. That means that, like I said, 𝐒𝐵𝐵𝐴𝐴 is here. How he's here, I don't know, you know, so we'll end up seeing what happens. But man, what an episode. And we're getting ever closer to the end of Liko's first big adventure coming to a close. What's going to happen with the 6 heroes? What's going to happen with all the Pokemon that she got? Is Roy going to be able the one taking Rayquaza? What about Arboliva? You know, what about Gouging Fire? What about all the other Pokemon that has been collected so far? Is that going to get passed down to Liko? Are they going to find Lucius's remains? Is Lucius going to, I don't know, come back from the dead? You know, so many things could end up happening. So we'll see what ends up happening. All right, friends, that's all. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next one. Peace.